Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to our wonderful Guru Maharaj. Welcome to His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily class. We pray that all of you are well and happy in Krishna consciousness and ready to plunge into the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. Unfortunately, today Guru Maharaj is not available, and so therefore Srimati requested me to both host as well as give the class. So please bear with me. My humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, my dear God brothers and sisters. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I offer my most humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, and I humbly beg for your merciful blessings, your good wishes, your prayers, so that by your mercy I may be able to speak something truthful, beneficial, pleasing, and strictly in accordance with the Vedic scriptures. Thank you very much. So I will now screen share, which is the verse for today, which is 2:4:12. We are continuing our series of reading from the second canto, chapter 4, and we are on verse number 12. I hope everyone can see the verse and can follow accordingly. We will begin with the invocation prayers. Is that all right? Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devem Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Prayeshva Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Srila Prabhupada said, I have given you everything in Canto 1 and Canto 2. So therefore, these two cantos are fundamental to our understanding of Krishna consciousness as well as to our grasp of the philosophy. If you look at chapter 1, it is creation, sarga and visarga, that means creation, and then cosmic manifestation is canto 2. In that, we have come to the process of creation, which is chapter 4. And then we have come to verse number 12, which is what I have kept ready for you. So we go on to the verse, which is over here. Shri Shuka Uvacha Nama Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase Sad Udbhavat Sthana Nirodha Leelaya Grihita Shakti Tritayaya Dehinam Antarbhavaya Nupalakshya Vartmani. Quite a tongue twister here. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shukadev Goswami said, "Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who, for the creation of the material world, accepts the three modes of nature. He is the complete whole, residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable." Purport. This material world is a manifestation of the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance. And the Supreme Lord, for the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material world, accepts three predominating forms as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar or Shiva. As Vishnu, he enters into every body materially created. As Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, he enters into every universe. And as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, he enters the body of every living being. Lord Shri Krishna, being the origin of all Vishnu Tattvas, is addressed here as Parapuman or Purushottam, as described in the Bhagavad Gita 15:18. He is the complete whole. The Purushavataras are therefore his plenary expansions. Bhakti Yoga is the only process by which one can become competent to know him. Because the empiric philosophers and mystic yogis cannot conceive of the personality of Godhead, he is called Anupalakshya Vartamane, the Lord of the inconceivable way, or Bhakti Yoga. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana excuse me Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we must understand first what is being described. The material world is created, maintained, and then destroyed. Created, maintained, destroyed. Created, maintained, destroyed. This goes on cyclically. The spiritual world is never annihilated. It's never created because it's eternal. And that is 3/4 of God's complete worlds. The material world is only 1/4, while the spiritual world is 3/4, where the eternally liberated beings are eternally singing the praises of the Supreme Lord and serving him in pure loving devotion. This little portion, this material world, which is only 1/4, is the dark worlds. Why? Because here we have need of sun, moon, electricity, fire, etc. While those worlds are self-illuminated because of the presence of the Supreme Lord, whose bodily effulgence lights up everything. That powerful. So these dark worlds, here we have birth, death, disease, old age, anxieties, hankering, lamentations, and that is why it is called Martyalok. Martya means death. Everything is temporary here, and everything is governed by the three modes of material nature: Sattva-gun, Tamagun, Rajagun, Tamagun, in the order of goodness, passion, ignorance, each progressively lower. So these three modes are constantly interplaying and creating varieties of living entities and their actions and their reactions. And so this entanglement goes on and on and on. But there is, as always, a supreme being in control of each one of these modes, which is Lord Vishnu for the mode of goodness. We have Lord Shiva in the mode of ignorance, and Lord Brahma in the mode of creation, that is passion. So the Lord appoints and he creates these beings. They are very powerful demigods in order to carry out these functions, and he empowers them accordingly, according to the service they have to do. So these are the three forms: Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu. And most common people know only about this. Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwar, as he is called by many people. And they think, okay, this is it. There's nothing more. Krishna, oh, he's just a naughty boy. And he is actually an incarnation of Vishnu. No. Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchit Ananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. And from him, complete universes manifest, complete creation manifests, which we shall see subsequently. So Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, first expands as Baladev or Balaram. He is the first expansion of the Lord. From Balaram comes the first Chaturvyuha expansion known as Mula Sankarshan, or the Mula means root or origin. The first Sankarshan, Vasudev, Anirudh, and Pradyumna. Now from these four come the Narayan features of the Lord, who are the predominating deity in the innumerable Vaikuntha planets, and they are named differently according to the placement of their four paraphernalia in their four arms: conch shell, club, lotus, and disc. So sometimes one will be in the right lower hand, upper hand, left lower hand, left upper hand, like this. So different placements categorize different Narayans, but they're all in the predominating deities of the Vaikuntha planets in the eternal spiritual world. From this Narayan, from one Narayan comes the second Chaturvyuha expansion, which is Mahasankarshan, Vasudev, Pradyumna, and Anirudh. And from the second Sankarshan, known as Mahasankarshan, comes Mahavishnu, Purushavatar. And from here, the cosmic manifestation begins, because Mahavishnu breathes out from his skin pores. Innumerable universes come out of the skin pores of the body of Mahavishnu, and this lasts for one breath of Mahavishnu. Into each of these universes, he then again enters as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Mahavishnu is lying on the causal ocean or Karana ocean. So sometimes he is therefore called Karanodakashayi Vishnu also. Sometimes he is called Karanarvarshayi Vishnu. But same, Mahavishnu basically. And from him come one expansion known as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Now Garbhodakashayi Vishnu also lies down in that particular individual universe which he inhabits, and by his perspiration comes the water known as Garbhodaka ocean, in which he lies down, and from his lotus navel comes a lotus stem. And Brahma. Brahma is manifested from the lotus flower that is arising as a stem from the lotus navel of the Lord. So you see how powerful the Lord is. He doesn't require a female in order to mate with, in order to produce anything. He can do everything on his own. So therefore, Brahma is sometimes called Aja or unborn, because he is manifesting from the lotus flower, from the navel of the Lord. So Brahma comes from the navel of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. He is known as the secondary creator or the engineer of the material universe, because now his seva to the Lord is to house all the living entities according to their past desires, their wants, and their dislikes, their likes, etc., into particular bodies, and to manifest this whole secondary creation called the material world for all living entities to inhabit. Okay. Now, once this happens, Vishnu again expands. Now he comes as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. He's so tiny. The super soul is described as only 8 inches, and he enters into the heart of every living entity. Of course, he's even smaller. In even tiny little creatures like an atomic size amoeba, he enters as the super soul. So we know that Krishna is supremely powerful, and he can enter into, he not can, he does. He enters into every atom, into every living being as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. Okay, which is what is described over here. He enters into the body of every living being. So now we can understand why it is stated the Lord is all pervading. He is everywhere and he knows everything. He sees everything. And you know what? He has been accompanying us as the Kshirodakashayi Vishnu or the super soul, life after life after life after life. So he knows us in and out. He has been our constant companion for millions and millions and millions and millions of lifetimes, which even we don't remember, but Krishna remembers everything. And he's directing the wanderings of all living entities. He fulfills the desires according to the karma of that particular living entity in the human form of life. So this is the scheme of things, the overall scheme of things, how Krishna expands. And Krishna himself, he has nothing to do with this material world. He is busy enjoying in the spiritual world with the gopas, with the gopis, with the cowherd boys, with Mother Yashoda, with Nanda Maharaj, playing in the river Yamuna, killing the demons, calling the cows on his flute, and completely enjoying his pastimes with his loving devotees. Just as a very powerful person in this material world, he just delegates everything to everyone, right? He doesn't interfere on a day-to-day basis. He's, of course, overall in charge. He knows what is going on, but he doesn't have to break his head for every little thing. He just pays the people and gets the job done. Krishna doesn't have to pay anyone. They just do it because they are his servants. We all are doing our service to Krishna or to Maya, depending on how we are situated. But everyone is serving. Everyone is in the role of servitor because Krishna is the supreme. He is the supreme enjoyer, the supreme controller, and the supreme proprietor of all that be. He is the origin of all Vishnu Tattvas and is addressed here as Parapuman or Purushottam, as described in the Bhagavad Gita 15:18. So let's go to this particular verse and hopefully you will be able to see it. I hope everyone can see the verse. Can someone tell me whether you can or not? Can you? Okay, it says you're screen sharing. Okay, very good. So it says over here in this particular verse, Yasmat Ksharam Atitoham Aksharad Apichotamaha Atosmi Loke Vedecha Prathita Purushottamaha. Because I'm transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. Just see how Krishna is declaring, I am the all-powerful. He's saying it over here. No one can surpass the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna, neither the conditioned soul nor the liberated souls. He is therefore the greatest of personalities. Now it is clear here that the living entities and the supreme personality of Godhead are individuals. The difference is that the living entities, either in the conditioned state or liberated state, cannot surpass in quantity the inconceivable potencies of the supreme personality of Godhead. So we are very, very tiny. We're very, very, very small. We are the same in quality, but gulf of difference in the quantity. We are like a tiny spark. Krishna is like a huge roaring fire. We are like a tiny drop of water of the ocean, and Krishna is the whole ocean. There's no comparison. We're just giving a very crude analogy, but Krishna is limitless, ever expanding. He's not static. His greatness is expanding, his qualities are expanding, his opulences are expanding, his everything is expanding because it's spirit. Spirit is not limited in any way, it is unlimited. And so, therefore, the Supreme Lord is also ever expanding in all ways. The word loke signifies in the Paurusha Agama, as confirmed in the Nirukti dictionary, lokyate vedartho nena. The purpose of the Vedas is explained by the Smriti scriptures. The Supreme Lord, in his localized aspect of Paramatma, is also described in the Vedas themselves. The following verse appears in the Vedas: Tavad esha samprasado smat charirat samuthaya param jyoti rupam sampadya Svene rupena bhinippadyate sa uttama purushaha. The supersoul coming out of the body enters the impersonal Brahma Jyotir. Then, in his form, he remains in his spiritual identity. That supreme is called the Supreme Personality. This means that the Supreme Personality is exhibiting and diffusing his spiritual effulgence, which is the ultimate illumination, which we spoke of right in the beginning, that the spiritual worlds are self-illuminated. They're fully effulgent. There is no need of artificial electricity, fire, light, heat, sun, moon. These are not required because the Lord himself is there. Supreme Personality also has a localized aspect as Paramatma, which we described, Kshirodakashai Vishnu. By incarnating himself as the son of Satyavati and Parashar, he explained the Vedic knowledge as Vyasadeva. And the very famous verse which is there in Bhagavad Gita, it says that Krishna himself is declaring, by all the Vedas, I am to be known. Who knows that verse? That is the last line. Who knows that particular verse? Can you tell me? Anyone? Okay, I'll give you a hint. From me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Anyone? Want to try?
Vedanta creates something.
Very good, very good. You got this. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mata smriti jnanam apohanam cha vedescha sarvair aham eva vedyo vedantakrit vedavid eva chaham. Translation: I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. So Krishna knows the Vedas, he's compiling the Vedas, he's the source of the Vedas, his breathing are the Vedic hymns, and from him come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. And the best of all, he's seated in your heart. And he's been there since time immemorial. He knows you better than anyone else, and he is your best friend. Why? Because who else, Srila Prabhupada said, who else can be such a staunch lover other than Krishna? Who else will accompany you life after life after life, even though you have ignored him totally? Which lover does that? No lover will withstand that. But Krishna is so faithful a lover, so kind, so compassionate, so caring, so unconditional in his love. He never gives up on us. Never. Can you have a love deeper than that, better than that? It's not possible, isn't it? Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said, you repose your loving propensity in Krishna, and Krishna's reciprocation will teach you everything about real love. So, here the Lord is declaring that I am the source of everything. That very famous verse which is there in Bhagavad Gita 10:10 or 10:9, 10:10, I think. Yeah. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Okay, it is 10:9, I believe. No, that's 10:8, sorry. These are the 4 nutshell verses beginning with Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. So here it says, this declaration, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. This is categorical. Krishna himself is declaring it, that nothing is superior to me. Mata partaram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya Mai idam sarvam protam sutre mani gana iva. O Dhananjay, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So Krishna is saying, there's no more superior truth to me. You come to the end of all knowledge means you know Krishna. And knowing Krishna means loving Krishna. Srila Prabhupada says to know him means to love him. So we must know more and more about Krishna. So we can fall in love more and more with Krishna, the best person to fall in love with, the supreme lovable object as well as the supreme lover. So he's the most beloved and he is the supremely lovable. We cannot find a person more fit to love than Krishna. Of course, we love our parents, our siblings, our later on as we grow up, our spouses, our children, and so on. But these are temporary relationships which, unless everyone becomes a pure devotee, it will not continue beyond this body. Of course, we can have very loving relationships with Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, which will go on eternally, provided we are all united on that front, on that same platform of loving service to Krishna, and we are all trying to attain perfection, and we have reached that level of reciprocation with each other, which is very pleasing to Krishna. Then even in the spiritual world, that relationship will continue. Because I remember writing to Guru Maharaj long ago, does it mean that no relationship can last? Does it mean that all spiritual relationships also end? And I remember Guru Maharaj writing back and saying, no, on the spiritual platform, these relationships can go on. So our spiritual family is our real family, ultimately. That's the bottom line, so to speak. Let's go back to the original purport. And where were we? No, this is not the one I'm looking for. Did I change? Yeah, I think I did. I wanted to share with you that the complete whole, because he is the complete whole. Okay, let's go back to the Canto 2, Chapter 4, verse 12. And I will continue with the purport. And I want to talk to you about Ishavashyam Idam Sarvam. He is the complete whole. So it's there in the translation as well as in the purport. He is the complete whole residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable. And here also in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says it in this particular sentence. He is the complete whole. Let me see if I can highlight it. There we go. You see that first sentence? He is the complete whole. The Purusha avatars are therefore his plenary expansions, which we spoke about. There is Mahavishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. Bhakti Yoga is the only process by which one can become competent to know him. Because the empiric philosophers and mystic yogis cannot conceive of the personality of Godhead, he is called Anupalakshya Vartmane, the Lord of the inconceivable way, or Bhakti Yoga. So, let me take you to this beautiful invocation which explains so clearly how complete Krishna is. So beautiful. Om Purnam Adapurnam Idam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. And here comes the translation. Such a beautiful translation. Just listen up. It's so perfect and complete. The personality of Godhead is perfect and complete. And because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. And Prabhupada gives a beautiful example. He says, just if you have a candle and you light another candle, the candle power of the first candle doesn't decrease. On the other hand, you now have another candle of the same candle power, right? Then from that candle, another candle, another candle. So like this, from Krishna, so many manifestations, so many incarnations, so many avatars, so many universes. Does anything happen to him? Does he decrease in size? Or he becomes thin? Or he becomes weak because so many universes are emanating from him? Oh my God, I need my vitamin C. I'm becoming weak. No, Krishna is all powerful. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So innumerable universes come from him, but he remains the complete whole. Isn't that wonderful to know how powerful the Supreme Lord is? Okay, so I wanted to share that about Ishopanishad. And okay, empiric philosophers and the mystic yogis cannot conceive. Why? Because they fall short of the complete understanding of the Lord. Just like the sunshine, the sun disk, and the sun globe. Prabhupada gives that beautiful example. That's those who only see the dazzling light of the sun, they are like the impersonalists. They're just captured by the effulgence of the Lord. Then, little beyond that is those who know him in his Paramatma feature, which is the mystic yogis, who by meditation try to capture the Lord and acquire mystic powers. They are called the mystic yogis. They can only have some knowledge of the Lord. So we have the eternal feature of the Lord, which the impersonalists come to know. We have the knowledge feature, which is the chit feature of the Lord, which the mystic yogis can come to know. But only the bhakti yogis can come to know the Lord fully because they know him as a person. Bhagavan. Parameti Bharmeti Brahmeti Parameti Bhagavan iti Shabdyate. Brahman effulgence, Paramatma feature, and Bhagavan, who is the complete. And that is the Ananda feature, because now with a person, you can have loving exchanges. You can offer very nice foodstuffs to the Lord with love and devotion, and he is happy to accept it. When you put tulsi leaf and offer it, Krishna cannot refuse it. So, Krishna loves to receive these loving offerings of fruit. Pushpam, patram, phalam, toyam, yome, bhaktya prayachati. And devotee delights in offering nice foodstuffs, in bathing the Lord very nicely, in dressing him, in talking to him, in offering arti, worshipping him, singing his praises, telling everyone about him. These are the loving exchanges this devotee has with the Lord to develop his relationship of love and devotion, because he is nothing but a part and parcel of that supreme whole, and therefore his duty is to serve the supreme whole. Just as a hand or a leg cannot do anything on its own, right? You cut off your hand, it looks like a hand, but can it do anything? No. Why? Because it is now separated from the whole. But when the hand is intact and attached to the body, it can perform many functions, which is what it's supposed to do. Similarly, hand, leg, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, toes, everything has a purpose. And that purpose is to take care of the body, to nourish the body, and then put food into the stomach. And then the stomach digests that food and sends the nourishment to the whole body. And that's how the body goes on. So similarly, by serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this way called Bhakti Yoga, a person can attain perfection. And this comes after many, many lifetimes. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavam mam prapadyante vasudeva sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlabha. That is 7:19. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is declaring. What is he declaring? After many, many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge of me, knowing me to be the, surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes. Such a great soul is very rare. Oh, I went to 7. Oh, I thought it was 7, but I went to 9 by mistake. So 7:19 is this extremely famous verse. which is quoted very, very often. And so all of you are very great souls. You have come to Krishna after many, many, many births. And now you are situated in the understanding that the Supreme Lord is the ultimate goal of life, ultimate goal of self-realization. And self-realization is nothing but God realization. God realization is nothing but self-realization, because they go hand in hand. The more we know Krishna, the more we know who we are. The more we know who we are, the more we know Krishna, because we are engaged in his loving service. This is very nicely explained here. Let me read out the first 4 lines. The living entity, while executing devotional service or transcendental rituals after many, many births, may actually become situated in transcendental pure knowledge that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of spiritual realization. In the beginning of spiritual realization, while one is trying to give up one's attachment to materialism, there is some leaning towards impersonalism. But when one is further advanced, he can understand that there are activities in spiritual life, and that these activities constitute devotional service. Realizing this, he becomes attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrenders to him. At such a time, one can understand that Lord Krishna's mercy is everything. He is the cause of all causes, and this material manifestation is not independent. He realizes the material world be a perverted reflection of the spiritual variegatedness, and realizes that in everything there's a relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna. Thus, he thinks of everything in relation to Vasudeva or Krishna. Such a universal vision of Vasudeva precipitates one's full surrender to the Supreme Lord Krishna as the highest goal. Such surrendered great souls are very rare. So here we are. Because we are surrendering to the process of Krishna consciousness, because we are surrendering to the orders of Guru and Krishna, the chances of us also becoming Mahatmas are very great. So don't give up, spirit souls. Keep going, even though it may be difficult, even though we are struggling with anarthas, even though it seems that we are stuck here forever. Keep on keeping on, because this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, has come down from the spiritual world to purify us, to enlighten us, to illuminate us, to banish the darkness of ignorance from our hearts, and to bestow upon us the supreme joy of loving servitorship to Krishna in purity, in completeness, in perfection. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we will stop there and we will open up for questions, comments, reflections. Corrections. Anything is welcome. Rishabh Prabhu, Haribol, and then Amritanam. Please go ahead, Rishabh Prabhu. My most humble obeisances to a spiritual warrior who's on the streets distributing Prabhupada's books in this cold weather. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. We'll see what will happen, but anyway, every day is a new surrender. Please accept my humble obeisances, dear Mother and dear Vaishnava, so Lord Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. I have a question about this Chaturvyuha and then this second Chaturvyuha. If does anyone know what is kind of the meaning of this Chaturvyuhas? Is there any kind of is it some kind of I don't know, any deeper meaning? Why is it like that?
Chatur means 4. Vyuha. I just read the meaning of Vyuha and I forgot. When I was preparing for class, I read what is Vyuha, but I cannot remember because it is very recent, Short-term memory loss. Just hold on 1 second because I remember reading it. The word Vyuha has multiple meanings, including military array, the arrangements of troops in a battle formation, which is that Chakra Vyuha in which Abhimanyu was abstract. Strategic disposition, again placement of forces, to arrange or to put in place or put in order, to separate, divide, alter, transpose, to forebode, to perceive. In ancient India, armies were formed into patterns with names based on their resemblance to real or imagined objects. Some examples of these patterns of military array include Chakra Vyuha, Kurma Vyuha, Krauncha Vyuha, Bakara Vyuha, and Garuda Vyuha. So Vyuha comes from the Sanskrit word vi and uhu. Its root is vya, which means a cover or a veil. So that is the meaning of Vyuha. So Chatur Vyuha here means four in arrangement. That is what I gather. And this is how the Lord Baladev expands into four. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Anirudh, Pradyumna. That is known as the first quadruple expansion. And then there is a second quadruple expansion, also known as second Chatur Vyuha, which is also Sankarshan, but that is called Mahasankarshan. The first one is called Moola Sankarshan. That's the only difference. Otherwise, they have the same names. And from the second Sankarshan comes Mahavishnu. That's my understanding. Is it helpful?
Well, I was thinking, is it this any way connected to, I think it's like one is the senses, I think one presents the senses, one presents the ego, one presents the mind or intelligence. Something like that I heard. So I'm just trying to check if that's correct.
Yes, Anirudh is considered the predominating deity of the mind. Sometimes it is said that if you cannot focus on chanting Mahamantra, pray to Anirudh because he is the predominating deity of the mind. That is what I have heard. But I don't know about the other three, whether it is mentioned that there is any connection with senses, intelligence. I have not read that.
Okay. Anyway, let's investigate more.
Thank you. Thank you for intriguing question. Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Amritanam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. All glories to Gurudev. All glories to you and all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis.
Mataji, first I have to offer the obeisances. Let me offer it.
No, no, no. I must offer first.
No. My
You
humble
know, Bhakti
obeisance.
Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, he is a ray of Vishnu. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, our Param Guru, he is a ray of Vishnu. He is Nayan Manjari in the spiritual world. But the moment anyone offered obeisances, immediately he would offer obeisances back, even to his own disciples. And he would say, Dasosmi, I am your servant. So his disciples were so embarrassed. What they would do from far, when they would see him, they would offer obeisances when he was not looking. And when they came in front of him, they would not do anything, so that he also doesn't offer. That's just a side. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. So one just small follow-up from what Bishop Prabhu just told. So is there any I mean, there should be, but what is the difference between the Moola Shankarshana and the Maha Shankarshana?
My understanding is Moola. Mool means root. The meaning of Mool is root in Sanskrit. So he is considered the origin, the first Sankarshan, Mool Sankarshan. And the second one is considered coming from the first one. So he is called Mahashankarshan. From him come Mahavishnu, Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, etc. But I have not read any explanation for why they have two different names. I have not read that. I went through Chaitanya Charitamrita to read the expansions just before, many times before, but also for preparing for this class. But I could not come across why they have two different names. Why one is called Moola Sankarshan and why the other is called Mahasankarshan. That explanation I didn't come across. At least in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I don't know if it's there, throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam, we do have, explanations by Srila Prabhupada. But I have not done such a in-depth study, so I won't be able to answer you because I don't have that knowledge right now. I'll have to do some research and find out.
And the Balaram feature is the expansion of I mean the Ananta Shesh is the expansion of the Moola Sankarshan or the Mahashankarshan.
It is not Mahasank, it is not Mula or Maha. It is Lord Nityananda Balaram is described as expanding in 5 features, 4 of which are Sankarshan, Vasudev, Anirudh, Pradyumna, and Sheshnag. So that is how it is described in the Chaitanya Charitam. Let me take you to that because it is described. Oh, I cannot minimize Zoom. I cannot minimize Zoom when you're recording this meeting. So I have to go on share screen to show you that. Okay, let me see. Share. Okay. Let me go to that part of Chaitanya Charitamrit. And there it is described that this first four features are there for cosmic manifestation, while the last one, Sheshnag, is rendering personal service to the Lord. That is how the 5 let me just take you to that one. Okay. Where is that 5 features of Lord Balaram is the original. Can you see text 8? Let me show you.
Yes.
He assumes 5 other forms to serve Lord Krishna. So this is Chaitanya Charitamrit 5:8 Adi Leela. Okay. He is the original Sankarshan. He assumes
Hare Krishna. Okay, Mataji got stuck, right? I'm still there. Hare Krishna.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got stuck, so we were on the first statement.
Okay. He himself helps in the pastimes of Lord Krishna and he does the work of creation in 4 other forms. And then there should be that explanation of Shesh. Okay, here. According to expert opinion, Balaram, as the chief of the original quadruple forms, is also the original Sankarshan. Okay, here we go. He is the original Sankarshan. The first, yeah. Balaram, the first expansion of Krishna, expands himself in 5 forms. Mahashankarshan, Karanabdishayi, that is same as Karanodakashayi, Garbhodakashayi, Kshirodakashayi, and Shesh. These 5 plenary portions are responsible for both spiritual and material cosmic manifestation. In these 5 forms, Lord Balaram assists Lord Krishna in his activities. The first 4 are responsible for cosmic manifestations, whereas Shesh is responsible for personal service to the Lord. Because he expands as his bedstead and so on. The Lord is lying on Sheshnag also. So here it is described as chief of the original quadruple form is also the origin. That means he is Mula Shankarshan. But here it is described as Mahashankarshan also.
No, he expands himself into 5 forms, one of which is Mahashankarshan.
Mahashankarshan. Yes, that is the correct understanding. Karanadakashayi, Garbhodakashayi, Kshirodakashayi, and Sheshna. He expands himself. That's right.
Okay.
These 5 portions are responsible for spiritual and material cosmic manifestations. And the last one, Shesh, he personally serves the Lord by expanding himself as Sheshnag, as all his paraphernalia. Okay, we'll stop share over there. Is that all right?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just wanted to share one short experience or realization which I just recently had. So, I was just watching news recently, and I saw that there's elections going on these days, and one of the state, there was a reporter. There was a reporter who was going on the ground and interviewing people, the common people. So in one of the state of India, she found that people got converted to um, Christianity from the Sanatan Dharma, and the reason was just that they weren't able to gather all the ritualistic stuff, which was very expensive for them. So they got converted to Christianity. So I was just thinking that people have even staying in India, they have so little knowledge, or they are so ignorant that Krishna, or the Supreme Lord, he doesn't ask so much. He says Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. He doesn't need so much, but still people are so ignorant that they don't know, and just for the small reasons they get converted. And
This is because the pujaris had such a stranglehold on the people, the upper caste brahmanas. They made it so difficult for common people to access spirituality by insisting that they are the only way to approach God. They must be satisfied, they must perform all these pujas, and then so much greed and exploitation, you see. Srila Prabhupada says the caste brahmanas spoiled everything because of greed, because they became too greedy and they became very exploitative of the lower classes. So people then got converted. Haribol?
yeah, and here when we talk about bhakti, Hare Krishna,
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here Bhakti Yoga, when we talk about Bhakti Yoga in Bhagavad Gita, it it is so full in itself that every other part is a part of it, but still people don't realize it. So how important it is for us to spread this Bhakti Yoga. I was just realizing
Haribol!
that.
Yes, go, spiritual warrior. You said it. Now do it. Wonderful to hear this. Yes, we have a very great responsibility. We have a very rich legacy that Prabhupada has given us. Who has all this wealth of knowledge that Prabhupada has given us? Prabhupada is so merciful. He has given us everything. Everything. He labored late into the night, hardly sleeping for 2 hours, 3 hours, and just went on writing because he knew he had very short time to give us everything. And then these books are the law books for the next 10,000 years. So Prabhupada, he pondered so deeply. His meditation was so profound. Every word that he chose was chosen so carefully after going through all the commentaries of the other acharyas and his own realizations combined with his Guru Maharaj's explanations, everything. So we are getting a very, very rich, condensed, super sweet, nectarian Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada purport. And then this nectar, it is our duty to share it with the world. It is our duty. The more
And
we share, the
the
better
best
for us.
part is the best part is it has space for all.
Sorry?
The best part is it has space for all.
Yes, yes. Even the smallest, most ignorant person can do some little something for Krishna and begin his spiritual bank account. So merciful. Prabhupada is so merciful.
Completely. Thank
So
you,
tell me,
Mataji.
Amrita Nam, what are you going to do to spread Krishna consciousness?
Yeah, for now, I'm using my art skills to spread Krishna consciousness. Next, let's see what more I can do.
Haribol! Jai, jai, jai. That's the spirit. Keep going.
Another thing is I am trying to live it my own self to spread in the surrounding.
Yes,
That
you're giving your child Krishna consciousness. You're raising your child in Krishna consciousness. You're guiding him and helping him. And you're also serving devotees at the Bhaktivedanta hospital kitchen by cooking for the deities. So you're doing many things, not just one thing.
yeah, and you know at the hospital when we cook, we are said that you don't even know that where all these bhogas are going and who all are getting. There are many guests coming, and these boga reach all of them, so you don't even know whom you are preaching. So that is said to us when we cook. Uh, it is our duty to cook with all the devotion.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. Cooking for the deities is a very great service. It's a very, very important service. It is to be done in very good consciousness, and it's a great opportunity for purification and for advancement. So
Yeah,
you've got the opportunity to cook for the deities, and that prasadam is going out to so many guests. Very true. Good for you.
and Jagannath itself is so merciful and he is so reciprocating. I tell you, if you have not cooked for Jagannath for few days, you have a craving. Oh, what am I doing? I want to go and cook for Jagannath. So
Haribol.
he's so reciprocating.
Nice. Very nice. Happy to hear that.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So would others also like to share whatever little they are attracted to doing for Krishna? Would you like to share with us your services or your liking, whatever you like? It's ultimately what you like to do for Krishna. That's the only thing you can do, long term. Nobody can, supposing I don't like doing something, but it's forced on me, I'll do it, but after some time I might just give it up. So every soul has a special relationship with Krishna, and some particular service will attract you. You will want to do that service. So anyone wants to share what they're doing for Krishna? Yes, Olga, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna dear devotees, please accept my obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I cannot say that I do anything for Krishna regularly. Okay, I mean, I try to to offer the food, of course, japa. So these are things that I try to keep consistent, but I don't have a regular service, for example, like in a temple or something like that. At the same time, I had an opportunity to do some translations of lectures, of lessons, of lectures, and I find it to be, let's say, the most inspiring seva. And in general, I have, this problem maybe is that when you go to a temple, in most cases they need some seva which involves physical labor, and I'm not very good at it. I mean, like physically, for me it's complicated, and I cannot say that I like it. At the same time, when it comes to some applying some intelligence, applying my skills, I feel differently. So here probably is a question, because I know that you should do seva which is offered to you, right? The seva which is needed right now. At the same time, if you like to do something and you don't like to do something, so how to manage it? So when I do something that I do not like, then I just don't come to the temple, so that I'm not get tortured.
Come on, Olga, pick up that big broom and start sweeping the temple. Go, go, go. And they're like, oh,
Sleeping the
no,
temple,
not this service. I don't like to do it. Yeah, it happens to us, because we are very conditioned and we are also very much, we have our own ideas of how we want to serve and when we want to serve and with whom we want to serve. Oh, no, no, that Mataji there, I'm not going in. So like this, we have all these, likes, dislikes, and so on and so forth. But slowly, slowly, you will find as you're chanting more, as you're reading more, as you're associating more with the devotees, you will not mind it so much. Certainly, there will be some services which you will very much like and certain services which you may not very much like. But you will find after some time that even if the services which you don't like come your way, you will not mind doing it because you will understand that it's all on the absolute platform, all of it is purifying. Whether you like it or don't like it doesn't really matter. Of course, it is the expertise of the temple president and whoever is in charge. A leader should be very expert at understanding the nature of the people there and giving the service that is most inspiring and which they will like to do. That should be there. Every neophyte devotee can't be expected to do everything, new devotees especially, we have to nurture them very carefully. So my prayer is that there's a very intelligent and compassionate leader there who knows how to utilize your skills, maybe giving you, can you please write up a nice article for our newsletter? Can you please type up, an invitation for the next event? Whatever it is that you are good at, I pray that you get that service to do because that will give you a taste. And once you get a taste, you want to do more of that, And once you get that taste and you do more and more, then after some time, you will be so happy doing that service. Then, even if some other service comes along, like, oh, you have to sweep the temple, you will not mind doing it. But straight off the bat, you're given a service you don't like to do, I'll be just like you. I'm staying home, I'm not going. Because our nature is like that, we are not so, what to say, we're not so selfless yet. We are still quite attached to our own ideas,
Yeah.
So my prayer is that you find something that you like to do. That's a good way to begin. What do you like to do? Are you a poet? Are you a painter? Are you a writer? Are you a dancer? What is it that you like to do?
Is it a question or
Yes, yes.
So of course, I mean, when we have a kirtan or a festival or something, so I'm always there to dance, as you know. This is something I like to do, but I don't even see it as a seva. So for me, sometimes I do it as a seva when I go to Harinam. So in this case, I know, okay, I'm doing a seva, I'm going to Harinam, so it's in a seva mood for me. But in general, as I said, as I like to preach, but I do not have knowledge to preach. So the best seva for me is to just repeat what others say, but in a different language. So means translating. I really enjoy it. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So do these two things that you like very much because, hey, Harinam is the Yuga Dharma for this age. You like doing Harinam, do more of it. Don't wait. Gather up your friends and do it on your own also.
Oh, we are very active in Milan, and they do Harinam every week, and
Oh, nice.
in addition, they do many other activities. So I'm in a good place for that.
Wonderful. Very happy to know that you have a service you like to do. And then because you like to preach and because you like to be in Harinam, you can carry books with you on the Harinam. Small books, pamphlets, leaflets, mantra cards. And as you go along, you can just talk a little bit because you don't have to speak much. In a Harinam, it's a moving Harinam, you see. So you can just have a mantra card and say, would you like to know what we are chanting? It makes us so happy. Would you like to do like this? And then give a mantra card, give a leaflet, give an invitation to the temple, give a little book, something. So then you will be adding book distribution also to your services. You will be doing Harinam also, and you will be doing preaching also.
Yeah. Oh, so far I was doing indirect book distribution by finding some, donation, or finding some people who are interested to support the Sankirtan. Yeah, so that used to work for me and for devotees. I mean, they are going, but I am here.
I
finding.
understand. Yeah. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Even sponsoring books is book distribution. You're paying the money for the books and they are distributing. That's fine. That's also a very wonderful way to distribute books. But since you said you like preaching, you can probably do a little something when you go on Harinam. Something to consider, something to think about.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Very happy to know you like Harinam. Harinam is our life and soul.
It's quite a pleasure.
Mataji, you are coming to the retreat, right?
Yes. So I have it.
Oh, good. Then
yes.
yeah, then you're in for a like morning and evening Harinam. So yeah, Guru Maharaj is going to rock there. So be prepared to dance.
But
Or
when to do Harinams there?
In the temple.
Yeah, yeah, in the temple.
Yeah, okay, yeah, in the temple, yes. But it would be also to do like Harinam in the streets. I have an experience of doing one in Vrindavan, so it was really amazing. But there, I believe, I do not know, it's probably far from everything, the place I have never been.
Yeah, in India, it is not so much. Mostly Harinam is done in temples. Yeah, it is done in the streets as well, but mostly in temple.
Okay.
So
yeah, I will be happy to see you all.
Yeah, looking forward.
Yeah, but they have just sent an announcement that due to the renovation of Radha Vrindavan Bihari Ji, the darshan of the Lordship is temporarily closed due to renovation. But you can always go and take darshan of Radha Madan Mohan Ji and Giriraj Ji. That means the other temple is open, but this temple they have closed it for renovation. So I don't know whether by 1st December they will open it again, but on their website I see this notice.
Okay, it will be what it will be. We'll see.
Ke Sara Sara.
Still, it's a big place. We can roam around and dance anywhere.
Right. Whole Vrindavan is there. Pastime places are there. It's going to be really wonderful. Dheeraj Prabhu is also coming. Okay. Anything else, dear devotees? Any comments, any reflections, any sharing? I believe Rasavilasini has the chart and she said, shall I share it? And I said,
Mataji,
yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sorry, there is a question on chat by Dheeraj Prabhu. Did you see?
I'm just seeing it now. All glories, you quoted this verse. So, as Lord is perfect, whatever comes from His all perfect. So, we are also perfect, is it? The only thing we have forgotten Him. Only thing we have forgotten Him. Can you just help me? Because I'm not able to see the rest.
Yes,
So
Mataji.
is it the only thing we have forgotten him? After that, I can see.
Is it correct? He's asking.
Is it
As
correct?
Lord is perfect. Whatever comes from him is also perfect. So we are also perfect. Is it the only thing we have forgotten him? Is it correct?
Yes, in our perfect state, we are perfect. Because we are perfectly loving him and serving him in perfection. That is our perfect state. But right now, we are not there because we are imperfect. We are now trying to reach perfection in this human form of life. Yes, we have forgotten him. We have forgotten our relationship. We have forgotten who we are. We have forgotten who he is. And so therefore now, because of the knowledge of Srila Prabhupada, we are slowly trying to purify our existence, to attain perfection, which is 100% loving, pure devotion to Krishna, non-stop, without ceasing, without interruption, uninterrupted and unmotivated. That means you're not looking for anything except to serve the Lord in pure love. That's a very exalted state, but that is our real state, correct? We are perfect.
Thank you so much, Mataji. I cannot speak, Mataji. That's the problem.
That's
That is
okay.
why I wrote the message. Thank you, Hariva.
Very good. Now, Rasavilasini Radha says she has a chart that she can share in the group. And I said, yes. I'm assuming because it's not here, she's going to share it on WhatsApp. But I don't see it here. Okay. Okay. If there are no further questions, no more comments. Okay, WhatsApp. All right. Thank you. Please share. Would you like to, I'll stop the recording and then we can.
Mataji, sorry. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances of Vishnu Shri Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj. I have an announcement to make.
Yeah.
From tomorrow until December 1st, like from Friday, November 22nd to December 1st, until Guru Maharaj is in GEV, maybe later of that. So we are moving the class timings to 30 minutes earlier. So which will be like 5 o'clock in 5 p.m. in India and 11:30 a.m. For UK, and for US it is 6:30 for Eastern and 5:30 for Central. So we are just moving 30 minutes before, so that Guru Maharaj will be able to give class daily. So because of his busy schedule in GEV. So until the retreat starts, December 1st, this change is there. After that, until maybe after retreat, I don't know how long Guru Maharaj will stay in GEV. So if Guru Maharaj wants to continue that, it will continue after retreat too. So the retreat is December 1st to 10th, right, Mataji? 10 days?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So yes, Mataji. So I just want to announce that, and I'll put the message in the WhatsApp group too. So from tomorrow, you have to join 30 minutes early. Thank you.
Got it. Got it. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I will stop live stream. I will stop.